Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Derek Branch of Saint Discussions on Strike 7 Sports. And today I just want to talk about the Saints 2021 NFL Draft and just provide a quick recap on the picks that the Saints made in this year's draft. I know a lot of people were pretty much disappointed in what the Saints did and the results of what happened in this year's draft. And there was just a lot of fans online bantering, pretty much complaining about every pick that the Saints made in this year's draft for the most part. Felt there was a lot of reaching in this year's in the draft with certain picks. The pick with Ian Book, the pick with Patrick Turner out of University of Houston. And I'm just here. I respect everybody's opinion, everybody's outlook on the situation, but I disagree. Chances are with Patrick Turner, I believe that if he didn't go in that first round of the draft, I think he would have got scooped up on by Cleveland and excuse me, and be a part of that Browns defensive line that they're building up right now. And I think Penn Turner is going to be a good player, a player that they look at, a player that they decide to take this year's draft. I think I like the guy as a pretty much a difference maker in this year's Saints team. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna beat out Marcus Davenport or Carl Granson to get that starting role to line up opposite of Cam Jordan. But he has potential. I think he's a long term solution to this team going forward. I like some things he can do. Coming out of Houston, he played defensive. He was playing a defensive tackle along the within the interior, but he got he suffered an injury, and inside they decided to move him at the as an edge rusher, and he pretty much took off as that. He played in a shortened season due to the pandemic. He decided to opt out of the Houston's bowl game and get ready for the Senior Bowl, and now he got elevated to becoming a first round pick, and I think people need to chill out. Don't get caught up in the emotions. Don't be so quick to brush the guy off because he wasn't a big name out of college. Coming out of college, or a guy that you didn't want to a guy that you wanted based on his name or where he played. Saints, we know this every year with the Saints. The Saints always go in a direction of taking players that no one has heard of, or pick players that you think they weren't going to pick, and pick players that you go in a direction that completely opposite of the one that everyone thinks you're going to go. And I like some things he can do. That he's got these long arms, 6'5", 6'6", 270-pound defensive end, come up the edge quick, plays pretty good against the run. I think I like his ability to deflect a lot of passes with his long arms, things like that matter. Give the Saints an ability a factor that their defense has had in a while, and that's guys that can come off that edge and cause some disruption. Guys that can force fumbles, force turnovers, deflect passes that can get in the hands of one of our defenders, and possibly give our offense a chance to, have a short field to work with and score points. And that's an ability. That's something that we can have with we could possibly have with Peyton Turner. I don't think he's. I mean, he may not start this year, but who knows? If he beats out, come in there and blow out the park with training camp. He beats out Marcus Davenport. That could probably be the end of him. He probably they probably trade him at some point during the season. But I think he just become a rotational guy right now as he develops. And it could be a possibility that they could convert this guy, let him play along the interior, especially with his past of playing as a defensive tackle. You know, but then we got In the second round, we decided to go with Pete Warner, the guy's pictured right here out of Ohio State University. You know, the Saints, when in doubt, they go to the well, and that's the Ohio State University. They've done this time and time again with their players. Marshawn, you started with Marshawn Lattimore. We started with Marshawn Lattimore, Von Bell, Eli Apple. They picked up tight end Nick Vanette, and they go with another guy, Pete Warner out of the Ohio State University. I'm just go ahead and read his scouting report real quick, man. Go read it. He listed at Warner's listed at 6'2", 238 pounds. Out of Ohio State, was a senior. I'm gonna go ahead and read the scouting report from Pro Football Network. Instinctive, hard-working linebacker with a three-down game. Quickly reads the action and unfolds plays before they take place. Immediately locates the ball, flows well to the action, and displays speed in pursuit. Breaks down well and uses his hands to protect himself and redirects the ball handler to the ball handler. Gets depth on pass drops and shows the ability to stay downfield with faster running backs. Sails out on the blitz, fires upfield, defending the run, and displays an explosive closing burst of speed, wraps up tackling. That was a positive on it. Negatives: lacks classic size and has a wiry build, easily disrupted from the action by blocks. So that's something you have to work on. I think that can be fixed. That's just to me. It's just minor right there. That's just as long as it ain't dealing with pass coverage. So this is the analysis right here. Warner is an underrated linebacker with a terrific combination of instincts and intensity, as well as physical skills. He leads on the line on every snap, but also plays disciplined football. Warner has a scheme versatility and is a three-down linebacker who is effective covering the pass as well as defending the run. So that's my biggest concerns right there. And I'm not, all too concerned about his inability to, get caught up in the blocks and all that. That's just something that I believe could be fixed. And to me, the blueprint for a linebacker right now in today's NFL is Devin White out of Tampa Bay. Guy who played at LSU, by the way. Guy that can quickly locate these linebackers. These linebackers coming out of the backfield and just blow it up. Blow up plays, possibly get to the quarterback, recognize things, possibly cover some tight ends, certain tight ends. And we need that. We need that with this defense at all times, especially with what we're dealing with in the draft, tight ends and coverage situations. And the Saints, and with this division, we're dealing with guys that's Gronk, dealing with Leonard Fournette, Atlanta with their wide receivers. You got Kyle Pitts down. They got Kyle Pitts. You got Julio Jones, cornerback. You got cornerback, but Calvin Ridley, Austin Hooper. Well, not Austin Hooper. Hayden Hurst, I believe his name is. The guy that picked up from Cleveland. So that just you're dealing with a lot. You know what I'm saying? I hate Hurst, the guy that picked up from Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. But they're dealing with a lot, man. And you gotta have linebackers that can cover in space, to stop the run, all that. They decided to go in the third round, another pick. They finally got a corner. I think this is where they packaged their picks, their compensatory picks, and they decided to go after Paulson Adebo out of Stanford. Now, Paulson Adebo is a cornerback, played at Stanford. Saints, this was a need in the draft. This was leading up to free agency and everything. Ever since they decided to release Jack Ravage, they decided to let him go due to the salary. And the Saints have been looking for a corner. I don't know what the latest news is on Richard Sherman possibly coming to the team, but I think they're gonna have to add one instead. I wouldn't be surprised if Adebo is starting at some point in the season. That's just the way the Saints are with players on defense. It doesn't matter at what point you were selected in the draft. It doesn't matter if you're a third round pick, fifth round, sixth, seventh round pick, or even undrafted. Some kind of way they find themselves in the starting role and their feet to the fire at some point in the season. We saw it in 2019, I believe, when they selected C.D. Deuce, C.J. Gardner Johnson. I think it was the third round, 4 round of the draft, one of those rounds. And this guy was the starter on day one, and he hasn't been out of the lineup ever since. So this might be the same with Audible. These guys, we need a guy that's going to line up opposite of Marshawn Lattimore, especially given the legal situation. I don't know what the legal discipline is going to be going forward with that situation. But we're gonna need another corner. Hopefully, they can get our hands on another a veteran, such as Richard Sherman, Casey Hayward, because we're gonna need somebody. This guy, I like his potential. I like they were talking to him on a WWL. I like his swagger. He just feels like a confident DB. I like the guys that believe in their abilities. They're not Hold on, real quick. Let me get some water. All right, I'm back, man. Let's get my little bit dry. But I like a guy that's confident in abilities coming out of college and that can make plays. So I'm gonna just go ahead and just read this scouting report real quick on Paulson Adebayo. So the positives: 3-year starter at Stanford, who decided to opt out last season, performed brilliantly as a redshirt freshman, leading the nation with 24 pass breakups. Tall, long corner who flashed the ability to shut down opponents in the pass. Physical battles opponents and beats down receivers to defend the throw. Uses his size as an advantage effectively at times. His pass defenses and possesses closing bursts. Quickly to read and anticipate, display is good. Recognition in the zone and has a nice move to the throw. Gives effort defending the run and reps of tackling. Negative: slow getting his head back around and struggles making plays with his back to the ball. Beaten deep often in 2019. Struggled at times early in 2019 and was pummeled by Gabe Davis of Central Florida. The analysis: Adebayo was really considered a prospect after his brilliant redshirt freshman season, but he played somewhat erratic football the next 2 years. He is level-headed personality with a large upside when needs to get his game back on track and consistently play at a high level. All right, so that's the analysis on him. Hopefully, under Chris Richard, our Saints' new defensive back coach, he can bring out those traits, get him back on the right track. He can come in and contribute to this defense. The Saints are going to need him, especially with you need in the NFC South. You're going to need two good corners to deal with the firepower. You got Julio Jones in Atlanta. You got Julio Jones, Calvarelli in Atlanta. In Tampa Bay, you got Mike Evans. You got the corner, not the corner, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller. They got weapons all over the field. Antonio Brown. And then and the Carolina got their weapons. You got DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, and they added Terrace Marshall out of LSU. So you got to have two good corners to have a chance of slowing down these offenses, especially in the passing game. You know. So with this pick, I just hopefully the Saints can get a veteran to come in as well, because we're gonna need as much depth as possible to deal with quality depth to deal with these other teams within the division and outside the division as well. And in the fourth round, they decided to go with a quarterback Ian Book out of Notre Dame. There's another pick that a lot of people were not too big on. Certain people didn't like. Felt like they could have used that pick on another position. It is what it is, man. Like I said, man, I don't know. As much as I know about these players, they're gonna go with what they know, and they know more than me. You know what I mean? I'm not a scout. So with Ian Book, man, he wouldn't be my first choice. I wouldn't have selected him, but I see why the Saints did it. I see what Sean Payton likes in him. He spoke highly of him about a month ago on the Dan Patrick show. and now he has him. Ian Book. You don't have to be. He doesn't. He won a lot of games in Notre Dame. I think he has the highest, the best record as a quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. 30-5 record. Won a lot of big games. Went to the college football playoffs two times. So he's a winner. He's a winner at the collegiate level. Mature. He's captain of the team. And that's what I mean. I think to see some Drew Brees traits in him. He's not big, 6'1", 200 pounds, I believe. And then with Sean Payton, this offense, you don't have to be a deep ball thrower, throwing it down the field. You don't have to have a big rocket arm. You just got to be accurate, be smart with the football, don't turn it over, and get the team in the position to win at all times. That's just what you need from this offense. You got to be accurate though. Ian Book is accurate. I don't know if it's to the point to where it's Drew Brees level accurate, but he is accurate as a thrower. He can throw and run outside the pocket. He can make plays with his legs, what I always like for the quarterback. Throw on the run. I don't think they're gonna use him as a like a Taysom Hill type project. I think he's gonna be a quarterback that is gonna have a chance to start one day. Going to have a chance to start in the Saints offense. I want the Saints to be the Saints starting quarterback. I won't say it'd be this year, but possibly next year or the following year after. And that's depending on how Jameis Winston performs as a quarterback. It depends if the Saints decide to keep Winston. If he plays himself out of a contract that they won't be able to afford, Ian Book might be the guy next year. He might be. I won't say that. It's not a guarantee though. But I see why the Saints went that route with Ian Book. I don't think he sees action this year, unless he blows them out of the water and during training camp. That's just the only way. But I think he'd be holding up a clipboard, man. He'd be holding up a clipboard for the next 2 seasons. And these next two picks right here, I'm not gonna spend that much time on them right here. And that's the guy Landon Young out of Kentucky, and this guy out of let me go look his name up, out of Alabama, South Alabama. Pick is Kawan Baker. I didn't hear too much about Kawan Baker. I didn't get into the interview they did with him on WWL, but I listened to one with Landon Young. Sounds like a pretty smart player. Felt the way he was talking, his conversation, his tone. It felt like he should have been a higher selection, but they decided to go with Landon Young out of Kentucky, and they was gonna pick a tackle at one point. The Saints need depth at that position at all times. It's a very offensive line is a very important position on any NFL team, and a successful NFL team gonna have a depth at that position at all times. You can't never have enough pass rushers. They say in the NFL. Same goes for offensive linemen. You can't have enough of these guys, and the Saints is lowered at that position as any team in the league right now. It's a good. We got some guys that we have. We got some all pros. I think we have one of the best offensive lines in the league, and it doesn't hurt to get it more, bring in more young talent as cheap. So that it is what it is with it. We only time will tell with these picks. My final grade for these picks is I'll give a final grade with these picks is nothing right now. Question mark. I'm not gonna give them a final grade. I'm not gonna give them. It's not even fair to give you guys a grade yet. The Saints are these picks yet. They haven't stepped on the field yet. They haven't played it down. They haven't proven anything in training camp or nothing yet. So we just got to see how it goes. Give these guys a chance to see what they can do as contributors with this defense, with this offense and the defense side of football. Mostly this win, they draft 4 offensive players. They draft 3 offensive players and 3 defensive players. So that's evening out. We'll just got to see how it goes with these weapons. Future weapons with the team. I am skeptical to a certain extent on how these guys are going to perform, because the way they perform going in the future in this season is going to determine how competitive the Saints are going to be for the next 4 to 5 years. Because all these guys right here, the 6th class, they're on cheap deals. They're on rookie deals right now. And we still paying Drew Brees his money from his dead money from the retirement. Help us out with the cap. So we with cap compliant right now, and if you get these guys to perform at that level, at that high level, we pretty much can contenders for the next following years because you're not paying them. You're paying everybody cheap. You can save that money to bring in those pieces that we believe can come in and help out. And I think if Ian Book is that guy in the future, we got the team. We got a contender team once again. But we won't know that till for the next 2 to 3 seasons, with this team. But we'll have to see how it goes, man. It's too early to tell. I would say give Peyton Turner a chance to shine. Let's see how he does working with Ryan Nelson, who's the best defensive line coach in the game, one of the best at that position. And let's see how it goes, man. It's just too early to tell, man. I didn't really complain. I didn't really complain with these picks. I'm not surprised by any one of them. I was looking at thinking it was going to go after Jabril Cox. That didn't happen, and we have to find out why Jabril Cox dealing with an injury. His stock fell, but it is what it is, man. We just gotta trust the process and see how things goes from here on out, though. But anyways, man, that's what I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel about these picks. Or you feel satisfied, disappointed, or skeptical? Are you excited about these picks? Are you optimistic about them going forward? And how well do you think they'll perform as when the season starts up with the Saints? Also in the description box below, check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the New Orleans Saints organization. I should have some more content coming up this week. Some more articles that are going to be written on this team, with the draft. And I'll let you know what's going on in the future with the schedule and everything. That's all I have for y'all for right now. Have a blessed day. Peace. Who that?